last Wednesday, we had a budget hearing and a special meeting. Things got very emotional and things boiled over. I apologize for whatever I may have had to do with that, or whatever I could have done to prevent it, but it still occurred. I just want to apologize for not controlling the meeting properly. My biggest mistake was not telling people that they can only speak once. Secondly, a non-resident took the opportunity to speak, thus I had to allow other non-residents to speak. I'm not gonna get long-winded about what occurred last week. A number of people were upset about what they witnessed. And I don't blame them, because I would hope from now on that we all can do better. We all want the same thing. We want what's best for Black Creek. As the board, we're up here. I realize we're trying to do our best. People don't always understand the rules and procedures of what we're doing while we're up here. I do have a message that I will be sharing on the village website. It'll go into more detail regarding proper conduct at our business meetings. So I'll just leave it at that. I do have, still getting over a cold, so I don't wanna talk too much. The other thing I wanna mention is the clerk's office came out with a newsletter today with some very important information. One thing I wanted to mention, and Bart does a very good job every year, is showing where your taxes go in your tax bill. Okay, so this past year I was at a couple of conferences with other municipalities, and virtually every time I would hear conversations during the break where local municipalities typically have people complain about their taxes. It's a given, we all have a right to do that, but for the most part, the increases in taxes, from my experience for the village of Black Creek, comes mostly from the tech school and the Seymour school system. Our taxes, if I remember correctly, last year for the village itself only went up 0.7%. The important thing to look at when you get your tax bill is the portion that actually goes to the village, which is 30%, okay? So sometimes folks see that whole bill and then they equate that to the village getting all that money, which we do not. So I just wanted to point that out. Hopefully, it helps our clerks field questions from residents when they get their tax bill. So those are the two main things I wanted to cover. Again, I apologize for the behavior that occurred last Wednesday. I've received an apology or two. I'm aware of other apologies that were made to parties involved. Going forward, I would really appreciate folks controlling their emotions, realizing we're all trying to do the same thing. We're trying to do what's best for the village. So with that, I'll call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Rebecca Bird. Here. Shannon Blaze.
Here.
Tim Dearmeyer.
Here.
Annie Gleason.
Present.
Corey Johnson.
Here.
Tyler Rasmussen.
Here.
Justin Stengel.
Here. Okay, we have the minutes. Any discussion on the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
We did a motion motion made to approve the minutes, do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion made and seconded, is there any discussion?
What minutes are those for?
The minutes that are in your board packet that covers last month's regular meeting, any committee meetings.
The one from last Wednesday, I'm not listed as present, so I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
Oh, is there? Okay. So let, amend the recommendation to have that correction.
I will amend my motion to approve minutes, with the correction to add Shannon to the budget public hearing. Actually, no, that's not, yeah. that's special meeting.
The
Okay.
special
Yep,
meeting.
yep.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Financial report. Any questions on the financial report? Otherwise, we'll put that on file. Okay. Roll clear, any update? I did not make the last meeting. Anything to share, Tim?
No, no,
Regular meeting and a little bit of discussion.
Yeah.
Waiting on the next step.
correct.
Okay. Katie, library update?
I just have happy news. We have a couple of holiday programs coming up. This Friday at 5:30 is a children's program. We'll have hot cocoa and a special story time in here at 5:30. We have an adult trivia holiday movie night on the 16th. We did complete when there is an emergency at the school, we are the safe shelter, so we did do our drill, last week with the school district, and they all fit into this building, so that was good. And then if you're interested, the local 4-H groups are going to be showcasing their gingerbread competition at the library, starting tomorrow, so come in and see that.
Thank you. Here to public comment. So this is where residents are welcome to comment on agenda items. Again, this isn't intended to be a question and answer period. If you would like to make a comment, please be respectful and courteous.
Maybe I'll go first, mine's short and sweet. Tracy
Okay.
Martins with Silver Screen Properties, I think we're the last item on the agenda. Hopefully the last time for this conversation topic.
Yeah.
We've got the address for our property on the agenda, and the zoning director and, permit, so, help me out here, Barbara, I'm drawing a blank. Permit director with MSA, Jeff at MSA for
The
the
zoning inspector?
zoning
Yeah.
inspector, that's the word, thank you. Did approve all of our materials, and his recommendation was 207 North Maple. So, when you get to that topic, did you guys have any questions for me?
No,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you.
And if you wanna have a comment, I'll allow 3 minutes. Yeah, yes, ma'am.
I'm Melanie Stadler. I live right here in town. So first of all, I'd like to clarify. I know that you said it's not a question and answer. Is that based on inability due to statute or bylaws, or is that based on unwillingness in this forum?
Well, I guess in my mind, it's more for the public to comment on an agenda, share their thoughts. If we answer questions that could lend to the discussion the board will have on the subject, and technically the board is not supposed to influence each other except during that discussion. That's the way I view it. If I'm wrong, folks can correct me, but It's basically a chance for the public to address something on the agenda.
Okay,
I've always encouraged folks to contact trustees, you know, if you have questions. And I realize folks like to, should come to meetings and have their questions answered. And that's some of what I'm addressing in the statement I'll be sharing on the website.
okay. So I have questions and I just want these on the record. So don't feel obligated to answer it based on what you said. This is regarding the EMS and what the services may or may not be in the future. So my first question is, why are we considering not continuing with our current EMS? Why are we not willing to sell the 2020 Tahoe? And that would cover a significant portion, if not all, of what's needed, especially now that the $20,000 for the fire department has been taken out of the capital fund. Number two, who would provide alternative EMS services? Number three, where would that EMS be dispatched from? Would it be coming from Hobart or Seymour or Appleton? Where would it be coming from? 4, what is the cost for the alternative EMS? Because we're gonna have to pay for it. 5, what cost increase will there be for people who have to use that service? So now, if I'm a citizen and I have to call EMS, am I looking at a, $10,000 bill instead of $6,000, whatever the case may be? Number 6, what is the current average response time to an emergency if it's an address here in town? And what would the average response time be for the alternative EMS to respond to that same address? In my mind, if you can't answer every one of those questions thoroughly, then you cannot in good faith go with an alternative EMS, and you should seriously just sign the contract for what we have now. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
I got a question for you. I'm not quite, but I don't know if it's on the agenda because I haven't seen the agenda. But you're gonna bill the utilities every 4 months instead of every monthly now? Is that what the newsletter said?
Yeah, just read the newsletter.
Did the board decide this?
Pardon me?
Did the board talk about this or?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know when you talked about it, that's all I didn't know.
A couple months ago.
Here, at a meeting here?
Okay.
I never heard anything about this.
Anyone else? Linda?
Yes, I agree with Ken. I know it was discussed, but I didn't know that they had made a decision to go strictly quarterly. But if I'm correct, we can still, send our money in or drop our money off, and it will be credited to our account, right? Was the actual billing then on the third quarter? Is that, okay?
Yeah, it's addressed in the newsletter, so if you have questions, you can contact the clerk's office.
Speaking of the newsletter, then the pie chart, I think was fine, fine and dandy to show that our portion is 30% of that whole pie. But it also would have been good to expand upon that, and let us know where the bulk of that money is coming from and where it's going to. It was blatantly just a big pie. And I think some of the people here haven't been here on a regular basis to find out these answers. Like some of us, so, but they don't know where that money is going to, what our debts are. And I think that would have helped. And I also see that you have, Christmas gifts on the, agenda for employees. And the board is of the idea, and we know that we are broke, we don't have money. So like for Steve's department, are you gonna rob it out of his budget for those Christmas gifts? I know a lot of, employees do not get any kind of Christmas gifts. And we have given it in the past, and I'm all for gifting, but I think mostly gifts should be for children.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else?
Andy, I appreciate your apology. That really says a lot. But
Well-
I do think an apology needs to come from someplace else.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it at that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes, sir.
I had about a 3-minute speech, but she covered most of it, so thank you. Something that you mentioned already, it's not on the agenda, but you mentioned it already. The newsletter, it says on there, no parking 2 to 6 AM. Who's gonna enforce that? Yes, you know,
Yeah,
I'm just asking.
It's something I've addressed with the sheriff department.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you for answering.
That one's the easy one. Anybody else?
Andy, I just have one other thought. I know you were apologizing for allowing, non-residents to speak. However, at that meeting, I believe the people who did speak who were not residents, they are taxpayers in the village because they own businesses.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I wasn't trying to specify anybody in particular. Just in general. And like I said, that'll be addressed in my statement on the website. Okay, anybody else? Okay, thank you. So, guess we won't go to a full session. Okay. Clint here?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just, come to see if you can reconsider, bartender's license for Christian. He's got some, paperwork that he'd like you to review or maybe discuss what happened, so that we can get his license approved.
Okay.
And this is Christian.
Hi.
Yeah, I guess I was a little confused. It says that I was, turned down because of a felony that I had in, the last 10 years, which would be referring to, cases in 2017, which I was found not guilty due to mental disease or defect. I actually got off of my commitment 2.5 years early after a, interview with a state forensic psychologist. I'm a single dad. I'm trying to make money to support my son. I live right next to the bar. Our family owns it. Even with that, I was previously licensed in 2022. I have the operator's permit right here, which is clearly after the cases in 2017, so I guess I was confused as to why it's not okay now to get my permit, but I was given it already, prior to my cases.
And that was approved through Officer Lowell.
Okay. All right, yeah,
Just like
the
the
board, I
opportunity
believe
to-
the board's gonna discuss that later, correct? That's what, yes, so we'll, no ordinance part. All right. Consider for approval the payment of vouchers.
I'll make a motion to consider approval for the payment of vouchers.
We have a motion made to consider approval of payment of vouchers. Do I have a second? Okay, we have a motion made and seconded. Discussion? If not, we'll look for vote to approve payment of the vouchers. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 2, discuss and consider filing a loan application with Board of Commissioners of Public Lands for $396,000 and $396 and $213 for storm sewer project. Looking for a motion for that.
I'll make a motion to discuss and consider filing a loan application with the Board of Commissioners of Public Lands for $396,213 for a storm sewer project.
Okay, there's a motion made. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
A motion made and seconded to discuss and consider filing a loan application with Board of Commissioners of Public Lands for $396,213 for the storm sewer project. Okay, discussion? Essentially, this is the balance of the bills for the storm sewer project minus what the village had set aside in capital outlay. So
What was the total cost?
It's in the,
Okay, yeah, I think I saw it.
yeah, it was that last
Yeah,
one.
I remember now.
Oh, and I forgot to mention at the beginning of the meeting, one of the things in the budget is an audio system for meetings, so we're gonna have mics. Sorry, I should have mentioned that earlier, but go ahead. So, discussion.
Is the loan in the packet?
Nope. This is a loan application.
Oh, just to apply for it? Is there any reason not to apply for it? I'm just wondering, is there any repercussion?
And you know anything that's what happened?
Yes, yeah, essentially we do, but we still have to discuss and approve.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no more discussion, we're looking for a vote. File a loan application with the Board of Commissioners of Public Lands for $396,213 for the storm sewer project. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carried. Utility, item number 1, MSA, October and November wastewater treatment plant update.
Do you have any update? If there's any specific questions you have, otherwise, the plant is operating, for the most part, so. Needs a lot of work. Just got to do a good job on it, so.
Okay. Put it on file. Item number 2, discuss and consider for approval committee's recommendation to approve the contract with Onward Accounting and Consulting as municipal financial consultant for the wastewater treatment facility project. Be looking for a motion.
Make a motion to accept the approval committee's recommendation to approve the 2026. Make a motion to approve the committee's recommendation to approve the contract with Onward Accounting and Consulting as municipal financial advisor for the wastewater treatment facility project.
Motion made, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion made and seconded to consider for approval committee's recommendation to approve the contract With Onward Accounting and Consulting as municipal financial consultant for the wastewater treatment facility project. Any discussion? Essentially, this is part of the process of moving forward with our wastewater treatment facility planning. And
Yeah, we're gonna have work spread out over multiple years and working with a financial consultant to work through that process and be as efficient as possible.
any other discussion? If not, I'll be looking for a vote to approve committee's recommendation to approve the contract with Onward Accounting and Consulting as municipal financial consultant for the wastewater treatment facility project. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion is approved. Item number 3, discuss and consider for approval committee's recommendation to approve the 2026 utility budget with a 10% sewer rate increase.
I'll make a motion to consider for approval the committee's recommendation to approve the 2026 utility budget with a 10% sewer rate increase.
We have a motion made, do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded to consider for approval committee's recommendation to approve the 2026 utility budget with a 10% sewer rate increase. Any discussion? Okay. Essentially, this utility budget typically covers all the expected costs for running our utilities.
Just, oh,
Go ahead.
my apologies. I was at the meeting, but just for everybody's information, Corey, could you repeat the last time there was an increase?
The last time there was an increase, we did an increase last year. Prior to that, there wasn't an increase over 10 years, I believe it was.
Yeah,
I don't know. I have that.
but last year there was a 10%, the year before that there was an 8% decrease.
Yes,
Just
yes,
for-
so in 2020, the rate in 20, so yes. In 2021, there was an 8% decrease, then nothing happened until 2025, we had a 10% increase. So prior to 2025, we had not had increases, we had actually had a decrease over at least a 10-year period.
Thank you.
As just share some information, I saw that Post Crescent had a piece on City of Neenah. They essentially had some of the same things happen where they didn't increase their rates for at least 10 years, I believe, and now they're increasing them 75% for next year. So, for whatever reason, we're not. That's what happened to me, not too. So, anyways, so any more discussion? Alright, so I'll be looking for a vote to consider for approval committee's recommendation to approve the 2026 utility budget with a 10% sewer rate increase. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Streets, Department of Public Works update. So we're gonna, going forward, we're gonna give Steve an opportunity to update us, the board and the public on the goings on for his department. So Steve, if you have anything.
Obviously just the basic stuff. As everybody knows, winter hit early this year, so we plowed snow 3 times already. These last couple of inches we didn't do anything with, but anticipating we're gonna be getting more snow Wednesday morning. Christmas decorations are up, everything is going well. The biggest thing is, been working on grant applications for Burdick Street. There's money in the budget to repave Burdick Street. I applied for 2 state grants. So far, we were awarded $44,000 on top of what our local budget is. And then I also filed for the local road improvement discretionary funds through the state, which is a matching grant, so we could get up to $175,000 from that. No guarantees, it looks promising. They try and award 1 grant per county. We are the only municipality in the county that applied for it. So if they hold true to that, we stand a pretty good chance. If we would secure that $175,000, we have to relinquish the $44,000 that we already got. You can't take a grant on top of a grant. So basically, if we got the grant, it would entitle us to do more work. Instead of spot curb and gutter repair, we would replace the curb and gutter on the whole street, do more sidewalk repairs, more inlet repairs. If we don't get the grant, we would be limited on doing less repairs, so that's all I have.
Okay, and for the public's knowledge that, I don't have the figure in front of me, but that was, what was it, like 174 had budgeted for that?
Right, 174 budgeted. I applied for 350,000 for the grant, but it's 50-50, so.
So, that's, you know, a significant piece of our budget is going towards repaving Burdick Street, or a good percentage, I shouldn't say significant. You know, prior years, a lot of that type of money went towards the stormwater project, so. Anyways, we're good, Steve?
Yep.
Okay. Nothing for insurance and personnel. Did you have anything for buildings and grounds, Steve?
Yeah, started the process with RMA Engineering on the Public Works building. We've met 3 times with them, started on the plans. We have 3 more meetings scheduled in January. With the intention that it would be ready to go to committee and board for the February 9th board meeting for plan approval. And then it would go out for bids right after that meeting if approved. So we have meetings scheduled, 3 of them in January, to finish up the plans.
And could you share with the public some of the background of doing that building?
Why we're doing the building? Yeah. Well, the current Public Works building has to be torn down because of the wastewater treatment plant expansion. That building is in the way for where the expansion needs to take place. They can't go anywhere else because of the wetlands around the treatment plant, so we're very limited in what we can do there. So.
Okay. Thank you. I guess if we go to ordinance, do we want to do the closed session now? Pardon me? Okay, we'll do the closed session at the end. All right, so we'll go to item number 2 under ordinance. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, we'll do 1 and 2 in ordinance at the end of the meeting. New business, discuss and consider for approval village president's committee assignments. Looking for a motion for that.
I'll make a motion to consider for approval of village president's committee appointments.
Motion made, do I have a second? I have a motion made and seconded to consider for approval village president's committee appointments. As discussion, I spoke to Shannon about her background and such, so I thought she'd be a good fit for the finance committee. And then I put her in the other committees, primarily based on, there was me, Rebecca, and Tim were in the board committees, so basically slid Shannon into the other committees, so me, Rebecca, and Tim aren't stretched out that much. I guess that's the reasoning behind that. Any other discussion?
What other committees besides finance?
Ordinance and streets. And hey, if there's no other discussion, looking for a vote to approve the village president's committee appointments. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, motion carries. Item number 2, discuss and consider for approval Christmas gifts for employees.
I'll make a motion to consider for approval Christmas gifts for employees.
I have a motion made, do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion made and seconded to discuss and consider for approval Christmas gifts for employees. This is something the board has done for all the years I've been on the board. Barb, do you recall what we did last year?
I do not recall.
I don't recall myself.
I believe last year was $50 an employee, but the prior year we did $100 an employee, and we misspoke at the meeting and thought we had only done a 50, so.
So, years previous, or last year we did 50, previous year we did 100. I think years prior to that, I believe we did like 50 for full-time and 25 for part-time. You know, our part-time employees aren't as prevalent without the part-time police department, police officers.
How many employees is it?
Because, Barb is full-time, Steve, Greg, Scott, Michael. Part-time, we have Chris. We have the custodians. Crossing guards, did we do crossing guards? I think we did. Crossing guards, so 2 crossing guards.
Summer man.
Oh, and, our lawn, I'm sorry, is it Keith?
Kevin.
Sorry. Kevin, our lawn mowing guy for summer.
So less than 15? Sounds like.
Yeah.
5 or 6 full-time,
I got 3 full-time and 7 part-time.
I hope I didn't forget anybody. Anybody wanna make a recommendation?
I mean, in all my employment places throughout my history, I've always received a gift as an employee. I know that's not standard, that's just my experience. But typically it's been paid for, I think, out of my boss's pocket, so I don't know if that's fair.
I'll make a motion to, provide $50 gift for full-time employees and $25 gift for part-time employees.
We have a recommendation for $50 for full-time employees, 25 for part-time. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion made and seconded to approve $50 gift for full-time employees, $25 for part-time employees. If there's no further discussion, I'll be looking for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. And, okay. Item number 3, consider for approval the appointment of election workers for a 2-year period. Chief Inspectors Kara Hopp, Anita Theobald, Nancy Felton, Rebecca Bird, and Amanda Schmidt. Election Inspectors Trudy Kuhn, Kathy Herning, Stacy DeVoe, Ann Bainman, Christy Lamers, and Cindy Offenstein. Looking for a motion for discussion, for approval.
Make a motion to approve the appointment of election workers for a 2-year period. Chief inspectors. Kara. Kara Hoppy, Anita Theobald, Nancy Felton, Rebecca Bird, and Amanda Schmidt. Election inspectors Trudy Kuhn, Kathy Herning, Stacy DeVaul, Ann Damon, Christy Lamers, and Cindy Offenstein.
I have a motion made, do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion made and seconded to consider for approval the appointment of election workers for a 2-year period. Any discussion? Okay, if there's no discussion, I'll be looking for a vote for approval of appointment of election workers for a 2-year period, including Chief Inspectors Kara Hoppy, Anita Theobald, Nancy Felton, Rebecca Bird, and Amanda Schmidt. Election Inspectors Trudy Kuhn, Kathy Herning, Stacy DeVoe, Ann Damon, Christy Lamers, and Cindy Offenstein. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Am I abstaining because my name is on there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't think of
I
that.
wasn't
Yeah.
sure what the rules of the road.
Yeah, you should abstain. Okay, so motion carries. Item number 4, open snowplow bids. Discuss and consider for approval. Awarding the bid. We have 1 bid. Let's forget I have this. I guess I'll read the bid first, and then we'll look for a motion to discuss and approve. It's the standard form the village sends out. This from Wilkinson Excavating, W6400 Cook Road, Shiocton. Trucking, snow removal, 15-yard minimum, hourly rate, including operator, $130. Specifications, quad axle dump trucks. Skid steer, hourly rate, including operator, $140. Can load dual axle dump trucks with that. Payloader for snow removal, hourly rate, including operator, $160. With 3-yard bucket. Other equipment, skid loader with blower, $160 hourly, including operator. Blower head chute that can blow into the dump trucks. That's the extent of his proposal. I'll be looking for a motion to discuss and approve said bid.
I'll make a motion to approve the snowplow bid by Wilkinson Excavating.
Okay, I have a motion made, do I have a second? Okay, we have a motion made and seconded to discuss and consider approving, bid from Wilkinson Excavating for snow removal.
Is that the only one you got, Andy?
Yep, just one.
We need it without a doubt, but.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, so this is, Steve, they handle the snow removal in the village.
Yep.
So if there ends up being a situation where there's a massive amount of snow, we need to actually have it removed. But otherwise, for the most part, I don't know, as far as since you've been on, have we actually needed to call anybody in? We pretty much take care of it.
Yeah, we haven't been hit hard yet.
This is just a backup scenario in case
Right.
we need extra assistance.
Or because of a major breakdown.
Yes.
I mean, even if our blower would break down, we would load with loaders. We've never used the contractor yet. I don't anticipate having to use them unless all the wheels would fall off the bus, but.
Well, that's what that don't happen.
Right. So, it's just a backup plan.
Yeah, so as long as I've been on the board, we've always done this for a backup in case, for whatever reason, our guys can't handle whatever is occurring. Any more discussion?
Are you planning on taking any more
I'm
bids?
sorry, the discussion needs to
Are
be
you
up
planning
here.
on taking any more bids?
This is the only one we've got.
Is this the same company that had the secondary backup contract previously?
No.
How does it compare to the previous bid?
I would ask Steve if this is who he's used in the past.
I think
Yes,
this was.
Wilkinson had it last year.
Yeah, I think the last few years.
Right, I think Wilkinson had it every year since I've been here.
I thought it was someone else, okay. All right, I misspoke.
Okay, any more discussion?
Is it in line with what they've provided previously?
I believe so.
I can't speak for the village, obviously I didn't know either, but I can speak in previous job, and I wrote all those rates down because it mattered to me, but, they're all certainly within the realm of one.
Perfect, that's what I was looking for, somebody that knew.
I'm gonna have to take these and see, you know, so we can use it now.
Alright. Okay, if there's no more discussion, I'll be looking for a vote to approve the bid from Wilkinson Excavating. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Alright. Item number 5. Discuss and consider making amendments to the 2026 agreement for the ambulance service. I'm looking for a motion to discuss.
I'll make a motion to discuss and consider making amendments to the 2026 agreement for ambulance service.
Okay, the motion made. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion made and seconded to discuss and consider making amendments to the 2026 agreement for ambulance service. All All those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed? Okay. So, last week we had discussion regarding the ambulance contract with Black Creek Rescue. The board desired to further discuss the language in the contract, per our attorney's recommendations. So,
If I may start, the 2025 contract is still in effect. It also has the evergreen clause, so it doesn't end unless either party submits a 120-day notice to end it. As to my knowledge, we haven't submitted a 120-day notice that we weren't gonna do it, right? And I don't think they did. So, in an effort to help things along, because this contract is still in effect, we wouldn't necessarily need to sign a new 2026 one, because it's still in effect. So what really comes down to is the monetary amount, which I believe we've all agreed on. It was the language in the contract that we had issues with. So I took some time this weekend and I printed up, I don't have access to the Word document to make amendments there. So I think I captured here what everybody had concerns with. If not, this is just a suggestion, I'm not saying anything. I just wanted to help save everybody some time considering there is time constraints. So I propose that we ask to amend the 2025 contract instead of starting a new one.
So that I can see where our, okay, yeah.
And you know, we could just leave this and ask them to amend the 2026 one with these changes
Yeah.
either way. I just wanted to have something Rural Fire can use.
No, I understand, I appreciate the efforts and.
Yeah, so the 2025 contract is still in effect.
Yep.
Because, so that's why I said beginning January 1, 2025.
Gotcha. Okay.
So my only thought was, from what I understand, our attorney helped draft this original contract years ago. No? No? Okay. Never mind.
It really only changes the fee section.
I see that, yes. So. I guess what Shannon had presented covers what our attorney suggested. And it would be up to Rural Fire Committee to accept the changes in this. Anybody has some thoughts as to, I'm not sure if we have to specify that this is just a continuation of 2025. The amendment agreement she presented does have a date of January 1st, 2026.
The only thing I see on here, and sorry if I interrupt you.
No, that's fine.
Is the following is added section 6A, and we're looking at first party must conduct a financial audit for every 2 contract years, odd number of years, beginning the year starting January 1st, 2025, and then it lays everything out. We're already at the end of 2025.
Yep.
So we've kind of, if we wanna propose that, we've set up a fail already for them. There's no way for them to get an audit done in odd years with 2025 being the starting year. We're almost out. I suppose it would be the end of 2025.
Right.
Sorry, yeah.
It's to
Like
audit
taxes, it's the wrong
2020.
year, yeah,
Yes.
sorry.
So you don't start the audit till the year
Yeah.
is complete.
No, you're good.
Any more discussion?
I mean, this is just a draft, any changes, thoughts? We just wanted to have a starting point so we didn't all spin our wheels tonight.
So this does, I believe, touch on everything Attorney Sweeney had suggested. Don't show Andy.
I think I've reached my limit.
I mean, it does lay out everything that Attorney Sweeney had, recommended. And then it does give Rural Fire the financial, side of things, or I should, well, Rural Fire ambulance, what they're looking for as far as their 24-hour pay and et cetera.
Right, there was no adjustment to any fee amount.
You have to take over the discussion for a little bit, let me go outside.
So what's the next step?
Well, it would have to be Rural Fire, you get approved there first, and then get sent to Sweeney. They would have to approve it, and then it'd have to come back and go. Otherwise, we send it to him, he approves it, they don't approve something, they wanna change some verbiage. Yeah.
But based on the 2025 contract, seeing that it was evergreen, I
Right.
don't know how any of us not see that, but, I mean, 120 days from now is April. So, I mean, we have to have coverage for
Right.
this contract at least through April, by last year.
Yeah, and I'm not
Rescue
arguing,
service,
I'm not arguing that, I'm just, as far as the,
but,
if there's any edits we wanna make to this before, I would say we send it with our representatives from courts and public safety. If nobody wants to make any edits, I mean, we would just send that along.
Yeah, you said there's a meeting scheduled for tomorrow.
correct, yes, so last week we had talked, and Rocky wanted to put something tentative on the schedule, or we all did, just to see if something can be signed tomorrow, for everybody. So right now, yeah, it is tentative, but I don't know if, you know, the ambulance needs to look at this, if they wanna still do the meeting tomorrow, or what the next steps, how that works.
I guess we should give a copy of the amendment to Ryan and, have them look it over.
You have an extra?
I have an extra. Sorry, pardon my reach.
Shannon, explain for everybody why you suggest we amend the 2025 and not redo the 2026.
The biggest reason I did that is because I didn't have access to the 2026 one and I didn't want to have to retype it all to add the words to cover what the attorney asked for. I'm not gonna lie, it could go either way.
Okay,
They could
that's
make
all
it-
I'm thinking, is that it comes up a discussion, I'm sitting in that room, I gotta understand, and I don't, this isn't what I do, so, I understand. If they wanna put that all back in there.
Right,
Things right
otherwise-
here wouldn't say every 2 years, it would be conducted every year.
It-
You put that in there every 2 years, so it gets audited this year, right?
No, because I just didn't think it was necessary for every year.
So then it'll be every other year, but still 25 is the first year.
I think that's what
Yeah.
the village, I've heard other people say they wanted, so that's the date I
Yeah,
went with.
okay, I'm just making sure I understand, I'm really looking at you guys, so I understand when you go there. What the intent was and understandings are.
Okay.
And now, I don't know if now's the right time or not, but I'm gonna use it anyway, thank you very much for this.
Yep. Yes, thank you. Any other discussion? So we'll visit this amendment tomorrow evening. Assuming they approve it, then we would have to meet again in a special meeting to complete the process, and then we would need the discussion for, amending our budget, which would include a resolution to come up with the extra roughly $13,000. Okay? So we'll wait till after the meeting to see when we could schedule that. Any more discussion? Okay, so I'll entertain the vote on the amendment for the ambulance agreement.
Are we doing a vote on it, or is it just information that's?
Or is it,
Do you vote on it, or just
yeah,
send the
that's
information?
true. Yeah.
Give the information for them to review, and
Okay.
say good, then we're review from there, I think that is.
Okay, yeah, I guess we don't really have to vote on it, correct? Everybody agree?
Amendments, yeah.
Present.
I love meetings.
Yeah, so we,
You should approve the amendments.
so we've made the amendments, we presented the rule fire.
Yeah, can we vote to approve it?
So the board should.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, you need to. You
can't
send them something that you haven't. Yeah.
Alright, gotcha.
So there you go.
Alright, I was right the first time. So,
I would like to talk it out. Well,
yeah, so we'll, entertain that vote now. For the amendments to the ambulance service agreement. All those in favor? Nope.
You already have your motion and second to discuss, and that vote was taken.
We have to do a new motion to include this. Motion for this specific amendment.
Okay, gotcha. Alright, so we'll need a specific motion for said amendment. Make sure we get that right.
I make a motion to accept the amendments as presented for the ambulance service agreement.
Okay. We have a motion made to accept the amendments as presented. Do I have a second? And a motion made and seconded to accept the amendments to the ambulance agreement. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, so motion carries. Thank you. All right. Unfinished business. Assign an address for parcel 22000300 owned by Silver Screen Storage LLC. Be looking for a motion to discuss that.
I'll make a motion to discuss the address for parcel 2300 owned by Silver Screen Storage LLC.
There's a motion made, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, so, as we heard earlier, the zoning administrator, had suggested 207, correct? North Maple.
Zoning administrator recommends 207. Retaining Maple Street address would maintain consistency with surrounding properties. Assessment zoning. Communication director.
So, we have to have our addresses on the county's 911 dispatch.
Okay.
We have to all be on the same page, so we have to run that past them anytime we're getting a new address, so they have the opportunity to weigh in.
Okay. From her point of view, it can be permitted, however, not preferred. Okay.
Yes, but looking at the building layout, it's gonna be very obvious where the driveways are. Right, Tracy, there's gonna be no access off of Maple Street and 2 driveways on Oak Street.
Correct.
And the building itself will be up against the sidewalk on Maple. Or nearly, closest to the sidewalk on Maple.
Okay. Any more discussion? If there's no more discussion, I'll be looking for a vote to assign tools, or you make a motion.
I'll make a motion to assign address 207 North Maple Street to parcel 22000 owned by Silver Screen Storage LLC.
I have a motion made, do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion made and seconded to assign 207 North Maple Street, parcel 22000230, owned by Silver Screen Storage LLC. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? All right, we just gained a new address.
Thank you.
We got it. All right. With that, we have to go back to our ordinance discussion and convene in closed session. Before everybody leaves, thank you for your patience. And, for those of you who want to stay, we'll come get you when we come back into closed session. For those of you who leave, Merry Christmas.